evening. Welcome aboard, passengers. Mega Sim. As I said in my previous video and the one before, I want to have a look at all the news articles that we've got so far for Train Sim World 2 Rush Hour that I have not read yet. So this next one, which is the final one, which was the first one that we got 2-3 weeks ago, building Riesa Dresden. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to read through it and have a look at the photos, and then we'll be up to date. So yeah, this is a little late, but hopefully you're going to enjoy it. So sit back, relax, and listen to my awful voice. Anyway, we talk to the development team of Train Sim World 2 to find out more about the featured German route featured. What? Find out more about the featured German route featured in Rush Hour. Okay, anyway. The reason why the German one was first was because there was a competition of what was it, USA, UK, or Germany that got the most scenarios, and then out came Lübeck, Hamburg to Lübeck, and Rapid Transit, and so that's why I won. So anyway, we're joined today, or 2 weeks ago, by Joe and Michael, who are associate designers for the gameplay team at Dovetail, and also Lukas Klimschik. Hopefully I've said that correctly. If I haven't, I apologise. But Lucas, who's been working with Dovetail to help with the signals and track laying for Rush Hour. Lucas, this is the first time joining us. What have you been responsible for in the creation of Rush Hour? Lucas said that he's been contracted by Dovetail to lay track and add the signals for Rush Hour. He's worked with Dovetail in the past on Train Simulator, and that's how the opportunity came his way. He's worked closely with the rest of the team to assist with any German-specific questions that they also may have. So I guess he's German. How have you approached this project? Is it different to other things that he has worked on? Well, this has been different, he said. We've already had a lot of research because the route was created in Train Simulator, which has certainly helped us save a lot of time in areas that could have taken hours. The research and tracking signals is 50% of the work. We require a lot more information, and we spent a lot of time looking for it and talking to people who can help us. So what kind of services are we planning on having in Dresden? Michael says, we are currently planning for everything. That's how we approach every DLC. Even though we don't have the stock required, we put everything in planning so that if we do decide to create the DLC for the rolling stock, we have all that information to hand. Our focus, his focus, their focus is on passenger services, but there will also be some freight services too. Nice. So, theme, Rush Hour. Is there anything that you've had to take into consideration to make it feel the way it should? Well, Michael said we will definitely see some changes. What we're focused on for Rush Hour now is that we include every single service we can available. Oh, does that mean we're going to get Southwestern Trains AIs going through Clapham Junction? Sore subject. Anyway, stop slamming the doors. We then put focus on freight and passengers to ensure the traffic is there. Joe says that one thing they're trying to focus on is the time. No. The one thing they're trying to focus on this time is background AI. Not stuff you drive, but things that you will see in the background. The S3, for example, is one train an hour, but it heads down to Freiburg. It's what we like to call scenery trains, so it just adds a bit more to the route and makes it feel more alive. Southwest Trains, come on. Anyway, sorry. We have used them before in previous routes, but we're trying to add more this time to really get that Rush Hour feel. So, I don't want to go further on this. I just want to mention this. If they're saying that Rush Hour is going to give us AI trains, how many real trains are we going to get? Is it going to be full of AI and we're still going to get hourly trains? Not sure. Let's continue. How busy is this route from a signalling point of view? I know there is a spreadsheet that shows S1 service pattern, but I'm not going to look at that. Lucas, it's especially busy at the yard. The one thing about Dresden is that it's an old East Germany. So we still have this old East Germany HL signals. At Dresden, they seamlessly intersect with the KS signalling. Further out on the route, you have the same signals, but you can distinctly see one signalling system end and a new one begins. So in Dresden, they just overlap with each other. So it was a huge job because of the signalling systems. Like in reality, they're separated in the code. Making them interact with one another is a lot of work, and it was very satisfying when it came together. So for this route, they've spent a lot of time trying to include more features such as multi-block signalling. So when the signal is read further ahead, it starts to lower the speed of the signals ahead to make you approach it slower. So how many different types of signals are there, and how many have you used? Well, Lucas said the route has a lot of different signals, and they implemented the HL system, which is completely new to Trains in World. With the help of the art team, they created 20 new signals just for this system. And they've also reworked the KS signals to tweak the colours so they look more realistic and give it a more natural feel. So what makes this route a rush hour route? Well, Michael said the good thing about this route is we can bolster the traffic with previous DLCs we've had before. You will not only have 4 rail vehicles, so the BR442, the 143, the 146.2 in DB livery, and the 185 in MRCE black livery, which already comes with the pack. But you can also enhance your experience with other DLCs from your collection. Layers, yes! It will be the busiest route that we have ever released. Right. What about Augsburg? Munich to Augsburg. They haven't fixed that with the optimization. Still not got all the layers on console. Even though this is the busiest route, is it going to work? Well, we're only going to find out, but yeah. Not sure on that one yet. If that's busy, then why is Munich to Augsburg so bad? Because that ain't busy, but it is and it isn't. You know what I mean? Anyway, there are going to be large portions of services compared to what we have done before. Joe, where freight is concerned, it's important to remember that as a freight train, you are second class. You're going to have to wait for every single passenger service that needs to get to their destination. So expect a lot of red signals. They look at it as an opportunity to admire the route art whilst we wait. It's also a train spotter paradise. Luke, Dresden, it's very compact. That's why they needed that multi-block signalling system, because the trains really come in rapid succession and they share a lot of tracks. There'll be a lot of red and yellow signals, and it's certainly a lot of fun. In the Dresden area, there are hundreds of signals, and it gives you the feeling that there is a lot going on. Michael, there's a lot to do. It's going to be up to the player what they like the sound of the most. Interesting. So it's going to be busy, but will it work? That's what I want to know. Has it been challenging to create? Trains in World 2 brings with it many opportunities. They find that we're able to do more and spend more time adding extra features. Able to add super elevated junctions. That's a first for Dovetail. Something that requires a lot of work because you need to angle the track and make sure the heights are correct to ensure the best rider experience. And it's a unique feature for this route. Something that they hope to start getting implemented for future routes. Also, introducing different ballast colours for this route. And they now have the technology to do so. So how have the new consoles impacted gameplay? Well, Joe said the new generation consoles do allow them what the new generation consoles do allow us to do is it takes the upper limit bar away from us so we can allow for a lot more traffic. Trains can be queued up at signals without performance issues. In the past, we've had to be very aware of memory limitations. With the new generation, we should hopefully be able to add more. We don't know the current memory limit for PC users, but it should be similar to the next generation console. So if anyone's going to be testing the limits of memory usage, it will be their team. So hopefully they're going to have more than one PS5 and one Xbox Series X. Have you had a highlight creating this route? Well, Lucas has said the most satisfying thing for him was Dresden main station itself. They've been able to sculpt the track to many different gradients. Approaching the station feels much more real. He loves the route with gradients. And although this one doesn't necessarily have large gradients, it has a lot of big junction areas, a lot of them with flyovers. So it's really, really fun. And then there's nothing at the end. Isn't it supposed to say, Trains in World 2 Rush Hour coming this summer? Anyway, interesting stuff there. Now, I know this Rush Hour is going to be good, but how will it work? Because we had that issue with Munich to Augsburg, where we're still having problems. They haven't optimized it yet. They keep saying they're going to. We were going to have added Bakerloo line route, timetable services. Never got it. So what is Rush Hour going to give us on this? What's it going to add? And will it cope? Will our PCs, will our consoles cope with the added the added traffic? That's what I want to know. Because, every route that comes out, it gets better and better. You go back to one of the original routes, even if you go back to East Coastway, man, the detail in that 377 is awful compared to the 375 on the Southeastern High Speed. Just the difference in the look, the reflection that you've got on it, just the way it looks, the colours. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do, but at the same time, I'm not convinced yet that it's going to work properly. And if it does, so yeah, PC works. Next gen consoles, Series X, PlayStation 5, fine. What about the older consoles? We're still in a drought of consoles, aren't we? We're still in constraint. We can't get hold of our consoles. They are still out of stock and they're never coming in. Elle, stop it. They're never coming in. So not everyone's got the latest console. So how is this going to work on the older gen? Well, as you know, we are going to be showcasing that. We've got a PlayStation 4, Xbox One S, plus the next gen consoles, plus the PC. We're going to showcase Train Sim World 2 Rush Hour on all devices to see if there is any difference. That's what we're going to do. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Yes, I know it's 2 weeks late, but I've done it. I've now read the article. I now know what it says. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And social media links are in the description below. We will see you on the next video. This is Mega Sim. Addy. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.